Hi guys, welcome back to Stitch by Stitch Recovery. I'm Harriet. I haven't seen you in months, but there's a good reason for that. I didn't stitch very much from November till a couple of weeks ago really, and then my stitchy bug returned back in full force. I'm a little bit rusty with these videos, as you can tell already. Please bear with me while I get back into them. I'm hoping to do them monthly, I think. And I will leave life updates to the end so that I can talk about the stitching stuff first, because predominantly this is a floss tube and then I talk about everything else for 45 minutes and we get through it. But my videos have been quite long and I don't want them to be quite so long at the moment. I am doing okay at the moment, which is good. Lots of big things have happened, but I'll get to that after the stitching stuff. That way, if people don't want to watch or don't care, they can just skip on by. So last night I participated, last night for me at least, it is the 7th of April today. It might be the 6th. 7th. I'm going to go with the 7th. I participated in the hashtag 24 hours of stitching, cross-stitching, stitch along, take 2. It was so much fun. I didn't stitch for 24 hours. I think I managed about 10 hours all up, and I managed to, my aim was to finish 2 projects, and I did. I've got 2 finishes today. I'm so happy about that. I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked. They're amazing. They're to my left, which is why I keep looking there. So my first finish, and these have been posted on Stitch Mania and Cross Stitch Unlimited, so people have seen them. But the first one I got finished was Gardenia, and this is Gardenia. I hope the glare on the screen that I can see isn't coming across. I am in a new house, life update at the end, so hopefully there's not too bad a glare. I will insert a picture here of what, sorry, that was a long pause and I was supposed to say something else. I will insert a picture here of what she looked like before I started stitching. And this project was this project that got me back into stitching after not being able to stitch for a couple of months. And now she's all done. She looks so amazing. Her beads took forever. But look, she's just... And I'm sorry, my hands are shaking. It's a result of the medication. But she just looks so stunning on this fabric. The fabric is 32 count Merino. Rain Stops Play by Chromatic Alchemy. If I had money, I'd be putting in another order with Chromatic Alchemy because their fabric is just, it's amazing. It's so good. I'm glad I got, you can see the fabric's folded over. I'm glad I got a fat quarter so I can actually stitch another one. But she took me, I'm estimating roughly 20-21 days to stitch. And not all of that was like full-on stitching. But I have a lot of time at the moment, so a couple of hours each day for the last 10 days. But I'm so happy with her. Even this little bit keeps falling. Even this part here, I had to I had to fiddle around with the beads because I think the fabric has actually shrunk in the dyeing process. So it's now more of a 34 count rather than a 32. But that's all right. I omitted beads wherever I needed to, just to do it. She has a couple of personalizations because there were times when I was stitching her and my concentration wasn't great. But she's done. I'm so happy. That's my third finish ever. My first for 2019 and my third finish ever. My second finish, I finished her about after dinner, about 8 o'clock last night. And then my second finish for the night was Miss Colombian Nymphalid, who we have seen so often, and just, I got stuck on the beading because I wasn't enjoying the beading. I don't enjoy beading. It takes too long and it's fiddly. But it does make the project look 1,000 times better. Not that they don't look good in the first place, but the beading really brings it all to life. I'm just folding her and fiddling. I will insert a picture here of what she looked like before I started beading. I completed, come on, just a little bit, there we go. I completed all of the back stitch on the head and the boots. You can't really see her beads, that's a shame. But her details are just gorgeous. You can hear Nova in the background. That bead never sits properly and it frustrates me. You can see all her beads. Oh, there we go. There's the sparkle. Forgive my shaking hands. I'm so happy to finally have her done. She sat in a Q-snap languishing for far too long. But she's done now. Hey. She's just on 28 count, Lugano. I have worked on a couple of other projects for just when Gardenia was doing my head in a bit. Gardenia was a lot of the yellow here took a very long time because it was big blocks of colour. So I found I needed to switch to a different project occasionally. So when that happened, I switched to the Serenity Prayer. And I don't have a photo of what this will look like, but you guys, I assume you all know the Serenity Prayer. I didn't get that, I haven't got that much done. It's coming through, but you can read it. I think I got most of Courage stitched and then T'Cha. And this will probably not be my next focus piece. I'm finding I don't like stitching letters too much. I don't know what it is. I just don't. But we'll see how that goes. I have a gift stitch that I have to stitch, and it's a verse. And I'm seriously thinking about not doing it, and because it's supposed to be a wedding present for my best friend who's getting married in October. But I just don't enjoy letters, so I may have to rethink that and get her an actual gift. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I had some amazing Stitchy Kindness sent to me, and it arrived on a day that I really needed something. Kyle, you are just such an amazing human being, and I haven't asked you if I can call you out, but I'm calling you out. Carl Reckemeyer of Stitching and Sound, you are so amazing. When this parcel arrived, I cried. I don't think I told you that. Maybe I did. But I legitimately cried. Kyle sent me my unicorn, Violet by Nora Corbett. This is the one pattern that I had been desperate to get, and it went out of print probably like 3 weeks before I properly started stitching. And as soon as I saw it, I wanted it, and I couldn't get it because it had gone out of print, and I was so disappointed. So I'm ecstatic to actually have it, and to have it arrive when it did, and Kyle's amazing note. It just meant the world to me. I only have a very small start on this, and this will probably go into my Q-snap that Gardenia's come out of. So this is, it's in a hoop now, but this is my very small start. There is a mistake somewhere in here, and for the life of me, no, somewhere in here, and for the life of me, I actually cannot figure it out. I just can't. Oh, my stitches look really gross. But everything lines up here. Everything lines up here. There's just an extra stitch somewhere here, but it matches the pattern. But it's not supposed to be there. So I'm very confused, but I'm going with it because I don't think it's going to affect the overall pattern. And all of my stitches seem to have some minor personalization in them anyway, because my concentration is sometimes not good, and I don't like to frog. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure I'll just leave it and keep stitching on her. I'm missing a couple of threads for her, which is why she has not progressed. But I think I went and bought them the other day. I don't know. I have to write literally everything that I've done down so that I can remember it. My head fog is just, it's getting better. It is getting better, but it's still not the greatest. Another project that I have worked on, and if I was doing magical stitches, this would be the project that had betrayed me, because I've restarted it once because I made a mistake and I didn't want to frog it. And now I've made several mistakes and I'm thinking I'll just frog it, or I'll leave it, or I'll UFO it. It's in the sin bin. It's not going to come out for a while. We'll see what happens, basically. This project is, any guesses? Birthstone Dragons. There's just something by Ingleside Imaginarium. It just doesn't want to play nice with me. So there is a mistake. How am I going to do this? There is a mistake somewhere in here that has led to him being just a little bit too fat. Like I've added a stitch or something. I'm pretty sure from here, I'm pretty sure his head's right. There's a mistake in the wings as well. I'm pretty sure, I think I just need to frog it and just redo it. Because I do like this project. I really like this project. It will look really good once it's done. But we'll see. And I really hate the border. I wish I hadn't stitched so much of the border, because I probably would leave it out now. But that was my first start on it. where I got something wrong and then had to restart it. So that's what I've been stitching on. I do have some haul. I got some, I can't remember in all honesty, if I have had patterns arrive between now and then. I thought I was getting something off someone who was going to a retreat, but nothing's arrived and she hasn't mentioned it again, so I'm not going to mention it again. But that I am tossing up whether or not to then buy that particular pattern myself. We'll see. I think there are a couple of others that may trump it, but we'll see. I got some colour and cotton fabric. I don't think you've seen these. This is sandstone in 32 count. It's not coming out very well. It's very yellow. The colours aren't very good today. Probably because of where I'm sitting. But the stitching looked good, so I don't know. And then some lemonade, which is a nice yellow. These are all, I don't know. Those two were Joblin. And then this is Cameo, which is coming out way more pink than it actually is, which is probably why I look quite so pink. I'm not this pink usually. I am that jiggly, but I'm not usually this pink. It's just not. Maybe because of the window. But that's 32 count Belfast. And then this is 32 count Joblin in pink topaz, which does actually look very similar, but they are different. This one's less mottled than this one. I got a couple of grab bags from Misty's Hand Dyed Fabric, and I'm not taking these out of the packets unless I have to, because they're not named and the count is written on the bag. So I got some smalls in green, some smalls in blue, which the blue is showing up quite nicely. Some smalls in pink, and then some purpley brownie colours. And then I think this is 14 count Ada, but it might be, no, it is 14 count Ada in a pink and a yellow, and some 18 count Ada in a blue and a green. I'm not sure what I'll use them for yet. We'll see. I did have a 1, 2, 3 stitch order come in. And I think I was trying to kit stuff up for some reason, because I don't have enough kits already. But I have six pieces of 18 by 13 32 count white Lugana, which is which is good for pixies and fairies and other stuff. I got some white Joblin as well, also in 32 count. I probably should have got it in 28 count, because I'm enjoying stitching on the 28 count more than the 32 count, but you live and learn. I got 2 pieces of water lily linen. I have no idea what these are for, by the way. Absolutely no idea. I would say Nora Corbett's, but I actually have no idea, which is very bad. And then I think I know what this one's for, but I'm not going to use it for that particular project. Ooh, maybe I'll fold it back in half. What's it called? Twilight Blue Linen. I'm pretty sure this is for the Twin Mermaids. Not the Twin Mermaids, Deep Blue Sea. But it probably is not going to get used for that. I've got a hand-dyed by Stephanie that I'm going to use for that instead. And then I got some random beads and Krynic that I don't know what they're for. I legitimately have no idea what these are for. And the bad thing is, I have 2 packets of these ones already because they were used in Miss Columbian Nymphalid. The dishwasher's done. And then I've bought 3 packets of these. I mean, obviously I've been kitting something up. I just don't know what. It's a bit of a mystery to me. I've got two of the same Krynics. What would use 2 Krynics? And another 2. I'm obviously looking forward to using Krynic. I don't know. I will find what they're for and then put them back into what they need to be in. I'm just going to take a drink. One of the medications I'm on makes me very thirsty and very hungry, which is why I've put on quite so much weight around my head and neck and tummy, because I just keep eating and drinking. It's actually ridiculous. It's really bad. But I'm slowly coming off that medication, which is good. The last thing I have to show before I go into life update is my mum made me some project bags, which is amazing. She's made me 3 so far, and they are all being used. So I had Miss Columbian Nymphalid in my blue dinosaur bag, which I love. You can see how I mark my charts and how messy I keep my current working rotations. It's just got blue fabric inside and then the really cute dinosaurs, which I love. I absolutely love them. So that's the first one. The second is holding my DMC floss. I have no idea why I have. I'm sure they're for some sort of project. And then it's got the Pooh Bear. It's just got very vague checks inside. Oh. And Pooh Bear fabric on the... Oh, it's upside down. I never noticed that. Pooh Bear fabric on the back, which I love. I love the, it's not vintage, but it's like, I suppose it is vintage look of that Pooh Bear fabric. Yeah. Then the next one is just a blue floral pattern with light blue inside. This does have stuff for diamond painting in it. I have bought 2 diamond painting kits. I'm not thrilled with them. I think the one, because I haven't opened one of them, but the one I've started is a partial. And I feel like I need, like, because I'm not going to do a stitcherista as much as I love her and put all of these diamonds into little boxes, and I just can't be bothered doing that, honestly. I feel like I need to be able to sit down and completely complete a colour first. And at the moment, I'd rather be stitching or doing something else, having a bath. So yeah. Life update. I think what I'll do, so you've got something pretty to look at while I talk about life updates, because a lot has happened, guys. A lot. I thought my life was like insane, but oh no, that's got lots of cat fur on it. I don't want to do that. I was going to put them up behind me, but the cat's been sleeping there and I don't really want to do that. That's alright. Surely I'm pretty enough. I'm really not. But I can't actually remember if I had a video, if I've had a video after the transplant. But I had my bone marrow transplant on the 25th of October to hopefully cure me of myelodysplasia and acute myeloid leukemia. It worked super well. I can say that now. There was a period of time where I was very sick. I got very, very sick immediately after the bone marrow transplant, which is supposed to happen because they basically use the highest dose of chemo that you can safely have to kill off your whole immune system and then introduce a brand new immune system into your body. And I got sick, but I didn't end up needing to go to ICU, so I was very lucky. I was very, very lucky. I wasn't able to speak or eat for a week and a half afterwards because of gastritis, mucositis. I had like stage 4 mucositis, which is the worst mucositis you can get. I was on so much pain medication and anti-nausea pills and just everything. But once my new immune system started kicking in, it did take a week and a half, but like once the new immune system had started working, it cleared up within 3 days, and it was actually my shortest hospital stay by a couple of days that I'd had out of the 3, which I was very grateful for, because initially they told us it was 6 to 8 weeks, and I ended up only being in hospital for exactly 4 weeks. I wasn't very well when I came out of hospital, but I was well enough to be out of hospital, which I was very thankful for. I have hair again. I don't know what to do with it. It just doesn't behave. It's so fluffy. It's like, if you've ever felt koala fur, it's like koala fur. But yeah, I came out of hospital and had appointments 3 times a week at the Peter Mac for longer than I care to think. The good thing was and is that I haven't had to have a blood transfusion since the bone marrow transplant, which means that my bone marrow recovered exceptionally well and my immune system has recovered exceptionally well. I was on twice a week transfusions of magnesium because one of the medications I'm on just chews through your magnesium. And magnesium, I've come to understand, is like super important to your body. Like, it's ridiculous how important magnesium is to your body. So I'm taking multiple magnesium supplements a day just to keep myself at the low end of acceptable magnesium levels in my blood. But compared to how many tablets I was taking, when I came out of hospital, I was taking like 30 tablets a day. I'm now down to 15, which is amazing. In a couple of weeks, I'll be down, I think 5 come out in 4 weeks, which will be great, including the steroids, which is what's making me put on weight and making me thirsty and hungry and agitated and emotional and just... I never want to have to take steroids again. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. So yeah, I have had to go back into hospital as an inpatient 3 times since coming out. The last time was just before Christmas. Did I go back in January? Just before Christmas? And basically it's because of one of the medications, cyclosporin, which is the worst drug in the world, apart from the fact that it does what it needs to do, and it's the only drug that does what it does. It's basically an immunosuppressor, so it's suppressing my T cells and B cells, which are fighter cells, from attacking my new baby neutrophil immune system, because there's two sides of the immune system. There's your T cells and B cells, and then there's your neutrophils. And basically the cyclosporin, which is the demon drug, suppresses the T cells and B cells so that your neutrophils can build themselves up and then start becoming yours, so that your T cells and B cells don't attack them. But cyclosporin is awful. It causes lack of concentration. It causes facial hair. It causes all of your hair to grow insanely. What else? It causes really bad nausea. And I'm one of those people, unfortunately, who's really sensitive to the cyclosporin. And when I was on a higher dose, I was taking 4 different types of anti-sickness pills just to combat the cyclosporin side effects, and some days it wasn't enough, and that put me in hospital 3 times. I did end up getting some graft versus host disease. Thankfully, it wasn't too bad. It was a rash, and it covered my whole body, but at least it didn't put me back into hospital or set my recovery back too much. It's the reason I'm on the steroids, which is unfortunate, but the steroids have done such a good job in getting rid of it, that now I'm coming off the steroids, which is good. I have another 2 scars, and it looks like I've been bitten by a vampire or by a snake. That's where they did the biopsies to determine whether or not it was graft versus host disease. I'm just collecting scars. It's awful. I'm going to take another drink, and then I'll keep going. Okay. Now, you may be wondering why I have had a change of scenery. Though maybe not if you follow me on Instagram. I am on Instagram under Stitch by Stitch Recovery. I post not very often. I've been posting more recently. As my headspace improves, I'm trying to become a bit more part of the community, which includes posting comments on more videos and chatting a bit more on Facebook. Well, not Facebook, on Cross Stitch Unlimited and Stitch Mania and the other groups I'm part of. Most of the time I'll just like photos. But about a month ago now, I broke up with my partner. It was honestly one of the hardest things to do. It was honestly one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, and that includes fighting cancer. It was harder to do and harder to come to terms with than fighting cancer. But things just weren't working, and I won't go into it too much because it wouldn't be fair to him, and it wouldn't be fair to other people who may have an interest in it but he hasn't shared it with them. But I think it had been coming, I think it would have happened even if I had not got sick. I think we would have gone to Europe, and it just wouldn't have worked. It became clearer that I wanted more than what he could give me or was willing to give me, if that makes sense. He's very closed and very within himself, and I needed someone who could share and support a bit more. And that sounds really bad because he supported me through cancer. He did. But when it came to, I'm so sorry for saying this, when it came to being an adult, he oftentimes wasn't very good at it. And my expectations of him being an adult were higher than what he was willing to give or do. And that caused a lot of friction and a lot of stress. And if I'm honest with myself, I'd always known that something wasn't quite right within the relationship, but I loved him, and we would have made very good friends. We would have made very good friends, but as a couple, we ended up not working out. We were together for almost 5 years and had lived together for at least 3.5. And it was extremely hard to make the decision. And it took me a while to A, come to the decision, and B, carry it out. But it was the best thing for both of us. I'm no longer, I didn't realize how stressed I was living with him until I moved out of the situation. I won't say that I still love him, because I kind of do and I kind of don't. But it's just very complicated. It's not something I thought I'd ever have to do. A couple of years ago, I thought that he was the person that I would be with for the rest of my life. And he's a great guy, and his family is amazing. And I love them very much, and I wish all the best for all of them. And that's all I'm going to say, because I've probably said too much already. I've often felt like I need to say sorry to them, but I hope they understand why it happened. I don't know if he's talked to them about it. But I wish them all the best. They're an amazing family, and he is an amazing guy. He just wasn't the right one for me. So all that just to say that I've moved back in with my parents and my brother. I'm unable to work for the moment, so I will be here for the foreseeable future. But I'm getting back into a routine. I still can't drive, but I'm getting back into a routine. In the mornings, I walk to my gym. I go to the gym, and then I come home. I have a bath. And then in the afternoons, I will stitch or research what I want to do next year. My aim is to become a vet nurse, which will take me a while, but I really want to work with animals. I really really want to take care of animals. And while going back to what I was doing before would give me more money than taking care of animals, it's not worth it to me anymore. I would rather be happy in doing what I'm doing and not stressed. And I would rather love going to work every day and enjoy what I do than go to work simply for the money. It's taken me, when I moved back in with my parents, I wasn't very well mentally for quite a while. It's taken me a long time to actually start feeling happy again and feeling settled as well. I still have periods where I'm very down and very introspective, but I'm confident that I will get through that. And honestly, given all that's happened in my life over the last year, I find it incredible that I've got my smile back and that I'm able to have some periods where I just sit and I can just be. For anyone struggling with mental health issues, just know that you're loved and people would miss you and people care about you. And the biggest thing that I've found that has helped, well, there's two. It was reaching out to my friends and family, and it was also exercise. Dad and I started going for walks in the evening, and that has helped my mindset so much. And then now that I'm going to the gym, it's even easier for me I'm finding it easier to feel more settled and be more positive. It's amazing how gross I can feel in the morning, and then I'll go to the gym and I'll come out of the gym and I'll be like, I feel better now. I've also started yoga. I'm really enjoying yoga. I've had 3 sessions. I kind of want to increase that, but it's a bit expensive, so I'm thinking about seeing if I can, after the next session, do some on my own at home. With all the walking that I've been doing, I have hurt my foot, which is a bit of a shame. I have a very slight stress fracture in my foot, but I can still walk. It's not going to get better if I don't do anything on it, and I won't feel any better if I don't do anything on it, so I'm still exercising. It just means that it's painful sometimes. I want to say thank you to everyone who has reached out to me. You guys are all amazing. So amazing. I'm so happy and glad to be part of this Flosstube community. Everyone's been super supportive, and hopefully I'll be able to keep stitching and bring more progress next time. I'm thinking about doing Stitch Mania. We'll see. I don't know if I want to do all of the new starts, so I may work in whips and everything. I have a couple of whips where I need to frog stuff though, and it might happen. Yeah, I want to say thank you to everyone. I've been really bad at responding to comments when people have left me comments recently, but for this video at least, I will endeavour to respond to everyone's comments, even if it's just a thank you or a heart. Yeah. Thank you guys. Hopefully this video is much shorter than normal. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. My email is below if you want to reach out to me through that. I would love to have some stitchy pen pals through email. That would be great. It's just stitchbystitchrecovery@gmail.com. And my Instagram is stitchbystitchrecovery. I don't add people on Facebook simply because apart from posting in the stitching groups, I don't really post in Facebook or post on Facebook. I use Instagram for that. So, yeah. Thank you for sticking around with me. Thank you for letting me waffle. Yeah, bye.